Hey guys, and welcome to my channel once again. It's your girl, of course, Chiamaka Ukeibu. Yep. If you are new here, you are very much welcome. Please do subscribe to my channel and have fun. Yeah. Okay, docs. Let's begin. So today's video, we're going to be talking about things no one tells you about self-development. So every day on YouTube, every day of our lives, everybody tells us to live better, do better, set boundaries, be more confident, do this, do that, but nobody talks about the struggles, the issues, as the case may be, right? Is it that easy? Is it as easy as we're telling you to do it? What should you expect, right? And all of that. So we're gonna kind of sort of dissect and talk about these things. How does this affect you, especially in the early stages? Now, self-development is a continuous process, but when you make that decision that you want to transform yourself and all of that, how does this affect you, and what is it like in your early stages and all of that? Now, remember that this is a learning process. Self-development is a learning process. It's likely that you're trying to change who you are, not your substance, not the basic, but some parts about you. It means that you are treading an unfamiliar terrain, right? You're treading an unfamiliar ways, so many uncertainties, so many, would it work, would it this, am I doing the right thing, and all of that. Yes, it happens. The unfamiliarity of becoming who you are, you're trying to understand who is this new person, still unsure, do I want to be this person, do I want to go back, is it too hard? So you may have cut off a few people in your lives, gained new habits, right, imbibed new habits and all of that, set more boundaries, right? So this comes with a mix of emotions, happy, sad, depressed. Like, you kind of like being your emotions most of the time, kind of like unstable, because you really do not know you it's a life you've been living for a very long time, and all of a sudden you're trying to change it. And also it depends on how emotional you are. So people are really, really emotional, and this is one of the reasons why people fall off the wagon. Like, it's very unfamiliar. They'd rather just stick with what they know, the routine they are used to, and I really cannot blame them, because it's not an easy thing. Truly, it's not an easy stuff. So every transformation process comes with its perks. Every transformation process comes with a cluster of emotion, comes with the issues around it. It's not to wear you off, but it's for you to understand that it does happen to some people and it might happen to you. It's absolutely normal. It's just about how you manage it, and you understand that, oh, okay, I'm not dying. It's expected. So yeah, that's why we're talking that's why we're talking about it now. Let's talk about the people you lose. When you start to set boundaries around yourself, right, you tend to lose a lot of friends. Some people think you're snobbish, some people think you are proud, some people think you are this. Sometimes it's not you cutting them off, it's them cutting off from you, because probably you no longer serve your purpose. A very good example is, if you're someone who used to be flamboyant, if you're somebody who used to spend a lot of money, and most likely people around you were there because you were spending, and right now you are trying to save and you're no longer spending, right? Those people will cut off from you. Just because it's the right thing, or just because it's what you want, doesn't mean it's going to be easy on you when it cut off, because these are your people. These are your real G's. Sometimes these are people you hang out with. It means that if you hang out, would most likely not be what it used to be. The question is, do you enjoy this new person you're becoming? This new, even if you do not enjoy it, is it important that those people cut off? When you look at it and you say it's important, then okay, how do you want to structure your partying and all of that? What would it look like? What's your new definition of fun? Like, practically build your life around them. It's not an easy thing. I can speak for a place of experience. So I have this friend that whenever I want to go out for an event, we talk. We talk, and it's like, oh, so what are you putting on to this event? And we sort of pick outfits together. But recently we stopped talking. We stopped talking for we were talking, and then we just stopped. I can't even place it, but we don't talk anymore. Not because we're quarreling, but because it's just who we pick up the phone and call. I guess. Now that sounds weird. Okay. So in all of that emotions, I didn't realize that So I was trying to set boundaries to some kind of things, right? And it sort of hits him as well. Yeah, it was weird for me. So when I'm going out and I'm like, as much as I just want to pick up my phone and call, because why? It's a routine for me, for us, like, hey, what should I wear? Oh, why don't you wear that your dress will look good in you, or it will look good on you for the occasion and all of that, right? We didn't fall off because of that. We fell off for a different reason, but it doesn't mean that we don't have other aspects of our lives that I enjoy, such as the routine of picking a dress, or hey girl, send me a picture of you when you're about leaving the house, right? It was a thing for us, and it's no longer a thing. While we're not quarreling, while probably the distancing ourselves was necessary at that point, yeah, it kind of affected other aspects of my life, and it hasn't been easy. So until we probably come back together to which we would, of course, but till then I have to find a way to manage myself. So I'm just trying to use that to illustrate that, yeah, when you let people go, when you cut off people, they're part of your life and it does affect you. That's the truth. But you should understand that it's for a good reason, and it would help you become a better you, and that's the essential idea of the whole thing. Is it hard? Yes, it is hard, because especially people who do not want to respect your boundaries kind of feel like you're doing a lot, right? It's hard. I cannot sweet talk this. I cannot find my way around it. It's hard to letting people go. Okay, and it depends on individual. Not everybody has issues letting people go, but I want to think that if somebody is well integrated in your life, you kind of miss the person or certain things you guys used to do together over time. Like, I can think of a couple of friends that I had to let go, or had to let me go also. It's the two ways, right? And yeah, it's not easy in the early stages, because maybe the people you used to hang out with, right? And the hangout was fun, and now you guys no longer serve each other's needs. You've let each other go and all of that. So that's just like, understand. But I think we don't talk well enough about the people you lose, right? And that's one thing you need to know. It could sometimes you might not be trying to let that person go. It might be something you've just adopted, and the person is unable to deal, and the person goes. Or it might be that you actually intentionally decided to let that person go. So it's just one of those things. Sometimes it's not something you can control, right? It just happens. But nobody talks about that. In becoming a better you tend to lose people, like your real G's. Ugh. I can't even overemphasize that. Let's just move on. Now, another one is you tend to doubt the process. Absolutely. Because you try to think, is it worth it? Right? Is it worth it? Because I want to use the situation of waiting for the right person, male or female. So you no longer, what used to be the standard for you no longer is, right? If you're the type who used to accept being second fiddle, handbag and all of that, you no longer you want someone who is your own person, who is looking out for you and all of that, right? If you set the standard, it means that when a guy is coming and he's not coming correct, he's not meeting the standards you've set for yourself, you have to let the person go. Now, it doesn't matter if that guy is your spec in physical, like tall, handsome, perhaps fair, the way you like him, curly and all of that, but his personality doesn't match the kind of person that you want. You would have to let that person go. It means high standard for love, high standard for men, friendship. So imagine you meet a guy you want or a girl you want, but you do not need. You tend to doubt the process, like, are you sure my standards aren't too high? Are you sure I will not be able to change this guy? Are you sure this guy might not just be a terrible person, or that girl might not just be a terrible person, or this person is a very good friend, I shouldn't let the person go? You tend, like, is it really worth it? You tend to doubt the process a lot. That's something, and it's absolutely normal, because you're trying to transform, you're trying to ensure that you are not doing the wrong thing. Yeah, you're trying to ensure that you are not making mistakes while in the transformation process. You're not giving it all up for nothing. And that way it means that you become more logical than emotional, right? And it's really not I'm telling you, it's not an easy thing, because of when you're head you're like, okay, am I sure? Yeah. And sometimes, truth be told, is that you could slide back. You could slide back to where you're coming from. But when you slide back, when you stay in that zone, and you realize why you wanted to leave that zone, and you learn again, and you get up and you move, right? And when you get back into that self realization, you're able to fight those temptations when they come, or when those doubts when they come. And especially if you have someone who you look up to, it also really helps, right? It also really helps, because you see that it paid off for this person, and you know in your gut that this is the right thing to do. Like, you know it in your gut, in your deep soul, that this is the right thing to do, right? You slide off, you come back harder, stronger, to achieve what you've set out to achieve. So I remember, self-development is a continuous process. You're trying to evolve, so you're evolving, you're continuously learning, right? You're continuously adapting, you're trying to make that thing a habit. Even when it's a habit, you just keep doing it over and over and over again, and you keep picking up new things you want to change about yourself, or new attitudes or habits you want to adopt, and all of that. So it's a continuous process. It doesn't just happen in a day. It's not a day, it's not a week, right? Over time, it gets to imbibe, you get to even struggle, you get to even slide off and slide back in. You could be doing something for 20 years, and all of a sudden you just slide out of it, and you're like, and then you walk back in, and all of that. So yeah, that's just the truth. Now, next thing is your interest may no longer serve. You're trying to adjust, you're trying to do stuff. So everything about our life is all linked together, right? Yeah, everything is linked, everything is entwined. So interest may no longer serve. Where you're trying to change one thing, it might change multiple things. For instance, you might decide not to drink, smoke, do all of that. It becomes hard. Or you're trying not to drink, and you realize that you want to reduce how you drink, and you realize that the reason why you drink comes from your friends, and that way you have to reduce the way you hang out with them. And in trying not to drink, you also realize that, oh, okay, probably if I reduce how I smoke, I would not need to drink as much. Just an example, right? So that way, see the way it's linking. And if you're not drinking with your friends, they're trying to reduce it, means sometimes they no longer call you for some of the hangouts, which therefore translates to the fact that over time you guys may not be as close as you used to, right? So interests may no longer serve. Also, this amounts to dress, food. There are certain dresses you wear, you feel like your cleavage is too open, you feel like the slit is too high. So if you're trying to be more decent, if certain things no longer align, right? If you're trying to be more sexy and all of that, you realize that you want to get more exposed dresses. Now, if you're trying to be decent but not conservative, right? You realize that, okay, you want a top that doesn't a blouse that isn't plunging. However, you want it a bit low. You want a dress that maybe isn't below your knee, you want it slightly above your knee, all this kind of thing. The food you eat also is affected. The way you talk, right? Maybe you talk loosely and you're trying to be more put together, or you're a loud person, you're trying to be less loud around people, giving others the opportunity to talk. You're someone who talks down on people, you're someone who is snobbish, you're trying to be less this, less that. And let me let you know that sometimes when you're trying to change this attitude, you might do it a lot and it just becomes too much and becomes negative. So I'm just trying to let you know that it's a bit of here and there, all right, but it all comes together because you're trying to transform. It all comes together. Take for instance, I make conscious effort not to swear. Like, it's a conscious effort. So when I say swear, I don't even mean the normal ones. I mean using the word swear. Like, I swear to this, or you hit the ground like I swear. All right. I personally, as a person, make conscious effort not to swear. All right. Sometimes I fall off, like when I'm talking to people, I'm trying to prove a point and all of that, and I'm like, I swear, and I'm like, yo, why? Don't do that again, right? So over time it has reduced. I would barely be talking to you and I say I swear. Why? No. Like, if you don't believe me, you don't believe me. If you believe me, you believe me. And I keep saying is that there are certain things I cannot lie about at this my age, because you can't beat me, right? So that's how I feel. it's a conscious effort, right, for me not to swear, and I'm sticking by it. So the final one is, you would be misunderstood. If you're someone who is all over the place, imagine someone who is all over the place and all of a sudden comes to an event and it's more put together, more relaxed and all of that. People might think that you are snobbish, you're proud, or what's she feeling like and all of that. But it's not about them, it's more about you. But they won't understand, and that's the truth. Now, the advice is, do not fret, do not lose your train. Ensure that whatever you're doing is still a positive thing, right? You're not trying to change yourself, and in that process overdoing it such that you are actually really really snubbing people, or you are actually very proud, feeling proud to talk to people and all of that. Ensure that it's still within limits, still within range. You're respectful, you are focused on what you're doing, right? Ensure you don't cross that line where it becomes negative and pushes negative feelings all around. Yeah, but either way, guys, I just think we need to talk about what people go through, the self-development process. It's hard, it's hard. It's hard. Like, it is hard, but we know that we can do it. All right, that's why we're embarking on this, and I hope and I wish you well. I wish you well on your self-development journey. I hope you actually do have fun. I hope you actually do have fun, and I hope that if you ever, I hope you do not slip back to where you're coming from, but if you ever do slip fall backwards, slide backwards, yeah, I hope you find your way back to the positive part of it. There's a reason why you're living where you are, trying to become a better you. I remember self-development is becoming a better you. It's not somebody who maybe was just a normal girl trying to be extra sophisticated, and your idea of extra sophisticated is being rude. No, that is not self-improvement. It might seem like self-improvement, but it is nowhere near self-improvement. I just need to clear that air and get that out, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video, and let me also know about your struggles in this whole self-development journey. How has it been like for you? What has it been like for you? It's actually not easy, especially when you realize you need to call a friend that you've known for years. How do you manage that, right? How do you go about it? Do you just stay with the person and find another way to deal and all of that? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, yeah, I've come to the end of this video. My name again is Chiamaka Ukevu. Thank you so much for coming on to my channel. If you're new, please take a seat. We have fun on this channel. All right, guys, I want to say thank you again, but I feel like I've said a lot. Anyway, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Ciao, ciao.